we have discussed about photosynthesis and where this photosynthesis takes place. We have learned that the photosynthesis takes place in chloroplast, and in photosynthesis there are two sets of reactions. One is light reaction and the other is dark reaction. The light reactions occur in thylakoids where the light energy is converted into chemical energy. In stroma, the reactions that synthesize glucose takes place. We say it as Kelvin cycle. Let's discuss about light reaction. Light reactions for the photochemical phase include absorption of light, splitting of water molecules, and release of oxygen. These three steps takes place in this light reaction. It also includes the formation of higher energy chemical intermediates. These higher energy chemical intermediates are ATP and NADPH. Several complexes are involved in the light reaction. We have told that absorption of light, splitting of water molecules, release of oxygen, and ATP and NADPH formation is formed. So these many complexes are formed. The photosynthetic pigments are organized into two photochemical light harvesting complexes. That is, in shortcut we say LHC, light harvesting complexes. They are, the first one is photosystem 1, in short form PS1, and the second one is photosystem 2, in the short form PS2. These photosystems are named in the sequence of their discovery. These light harvesting complexes, that is photosystems 1 and 2, these are made up of hundreds of pigment molecules. These are bound to proteins. Each photosystem, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, has pigments which forms light harvesting system. This is called antennae. In other words, we can also say it as light harvesting complex or antennae. So what the pigments that are in the photosystems, photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 does is, they absorb the wavelengths of light and they pass this energy, light energy, into the reaction center, which is, we refer to as chlorophyll A. So the reaction center is different in both photosystems. In photosystem 1, the reaction center chlorophyll A has absorption of at 700 nanometer. Hence we call it as P700. If we see in photosystem 2, the absorption is 680 nanometers and we call it as P680. So what is happening here is, the light energy that is absorbed by these pigments is passed to the reaction center. In these reaction centers also, the absorption is different in two photosystems. In the photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, it is different. Let's look at the electron transport. We know that there are two photosystems. One is photosystem 1 and the second one is photosystem 2. In photosystem 1, the reaction center chlorophyll A absorbs 680 nanometer wavelength of red light, in which it causes the electrons to get excited. These excited electrons are picked up by an electron acceptor. Then this passes to the electron transport system. As soon as it passes through the electron transport, these electrons are not used up, but they pass through the pigments of the photosystem 1. Simultaneously, photosystem 1, the electrons also gets excited, where they receive the light of wavelength 700 nanometer, and these are transferred to another acceptor molecule greater than the redox potential. As the electrons pass through the electron transport chain, the energy from the electron is used to pump hydrogen ions to stroma to the thylakoid, creating a concentration gradient. This gradient powers a protein called ATP synthetase. Here, phosphorylates ADP to form ATP. Within the photosystem 1, the low energy electrons are again re-energized and are passed through an electron transport chain where the electron carrier NAD plus is reduced to NADPH. So this whole process starting from the photosystem 2 where the electron gets excited, then enters into the electron transport system, and from the photosystem 1 it's a downhill process where NAD plus reduces to NADPH plus H plus. This is called a Z scheme because of its shape. This whole reaction is in the shape of a Z. When all the characters are placed in a sequence, it resembles a letter Z. So we say it has a Z scheme. As I have mentioned already, in light reaction, absorption of light, splitting of water molecules, and release of oxygen takes place. Let's see the splitting of water and release of oxygen. First, the energized electrons passed from the reaction center to photosystem 2 to the electron transport system, that is the electron transport chain. The electrons that are lost by photosystem 2 are replaced by a process called photolysis, which involves the oxidation of water molecule producing free electrons and oxygen gas. This oxygen gas is a byproduct of photosynthesis. So the splitting of water is associated with photosystem 2, where water is split into protons, oxygen and electrons. In the equation, see the hydrogen, oxygen and the electrons. These are splitted from the water.